Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, then thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So thank you so much just for tuning in today and being present here with the reading. I really am so grateful to each and every one of you, and I'm grateful for this amazing community that we are co-creating here together. So thank you for all your love, support, energy, and comments. I really love how we're creating a space here that's so positively, mutually reinforcing to all of us who are here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started today by sharing the first card that has come out at the beginning of this reading. Actually, it's interesting. So I don't know why I'm really feeling guided to share this, but I've actually started this video about 3 times now, and there's just been this kind of difficulty in grappling with the energy and kind of settling in, almost like this underlying sort of heightened feeling that you could compare to maybe sort of like an anxiety that's a bit subconscious that kind of keeps you feeling both engaged and distracted at the same time. It's this sense of mentally feeling like you're firing on all cylinders and going a million different directions, but physically you're just sitting in a chair or laying in a bed or not really doing that much physically. Now, I don't typically share these types of experiences, but that's what I was feeling just prior to doing this reading. And as many of you know who are extremely empathic yourself, whenever you feel something completely out of the blue that doesn't really connect with anything in your physical, literal, current moment reality, this can often be a sign that whatever you're picking up on is actually something collective that you are sensing energetically, and then you're unconsciously interpreting that energy through your own physical body, whether that's sensations, emotions, even thoughts that might pop into your mind that seem to be intrusive or to come in out of nowhere. These can all be signs that you're actually picking up on collective energies. And I'm just seeing this like a literal shield in front of someone. So maybe there's a message in here about shielding your energy or protecting yourself at this time. I'm also picking up something about electronic devices, Wi-Fi connection, phone calls, things like that, potentially being a little bit out of sorts. So don't be surprised if your technology feels like it's acting a little bit strange. I'm hearing having trouble getting connected. So maybe this is literal to someone's Wi-Fi connection or a phone call connection, but this also could be relational. So maybe there's some relationship in your life where you just feel as though you're really having trouble clicking in to that connection with that person, or really relating to each other, or understanding or hearing each other in the way that you usually do. Interesting. So let me know in the comments if you've been dealing with any of that energy. I got the month of Taurus. That could be someone's birth month here, could be Taurus or Aries energy. I'm seeing like brown hair and brown eyes for someone, so maybe that's relevant. I'm hearing something about a hazy weather, maybe mentally feeling a little bit hazy. But also I'm getting the word lavender, which could be, of course, the color or something related to lavender itself. Do keep in mind that whenever I channel these very specific details, these are typically meant for certain groups of people, so only take those messages how or if they are resonating for you personally. And really just in general, Of course, all of these readings are collective readings. I heard surge of inspiration or surge of creativity. So in spite of all of these intense, possibly even anxiety-inducing collective emotions that you might be picking up on, I'm also getting something about a surge in your creativity or your inspiration. I also keep getting this feeling of pressure around my third eye. So there could be something happening where you are receiving a lot of psychic energy, a lot of psychic information, whether you are consciously aware of that or not. And maybe some of that is being translated into this intense inspiration. And some of that is being translated as this anxiety. And it's almost coming up that those are two sides of the same coin. So whether you're feeling the collective anxiety or you're feeling this surge of inspiration, or maybe you feel both at different points in time. I'm getting something about the number 5. Specifically, I also saw 547. I don't know if any of those numbers are important for someone in some way, but I'm just getting that it's like two sides of a coin, two extremes. This is kind of what we're experiencing at this time. And prior to, anyway, as I was getting to, with this whole kind of spiel here, I was trying to get to, I pulled a card in one of those prior attempts at recording this reading, and it was actually the Justice card. But then when I shuffled this time for the reading, the first card I pulled was the 6 of Pentacles, which is about sharing and being generous. I specifically heard being generous with your time, your love, and your energy. And so I'm getting this sense with the Justice card of things coming back to you that you've planted or put out into the universe energetically, spiritually, or emotionally. So this could be a vision that you created, something that you put out into the universe that you desired to manifest. I saw the number 711 for someone. This also could be, I heard something about maybe the name Earl, or this could be Earl Grey tea for someone here. Anyway, so it's almost as though everything that you've been generous with is coming back to you in a way that is going to be more visible and tangible and material. Now, when I speak of this generosity, yes, this could be you literally showing active kindness to someone. I'm hearing random acts of kindness. Specifically, I'm picking up on a very, very particular person who's always been inspired to anonymous acts of kindness, or sometimes what we call random acts of kindness. And these may be things that you've never spoken of to anyone. It's just that you have this spirit in you where sometimes you feel this intuitive nudge to do something kind for another person, which is actually your intuitive guidance pushing you in that direction. I'm hearing guardian angels, so maybe you connect with the concept of having a guardian angel or spirit guides, or however you conceptualize that, taking care of you, looking out for you. But this also actually could mean that you are almost like this guardian angel for others, even if you don't realize it. Many of those moments where you did something kind or just offered a kind word to someone or a smile, and you didn't know why you were guided to say something or to do something for that person, maybe even secretly or anonymously. Anytime you did that, you were almost stepping into this unconscious role as that person's guardian angel, or what they would consider to be a guardian angel. And I feel that in doing that, you've actually inspired others to believe in the good in humanity and in themselves, and to actually develop an interest in cultivating more of an active connection with divinity, however they conceptualize that, to have more of an active role in their spiritual journey, their journey of reaching a higher level of consciousness in this world, whatever that looks like for them. And I feel you've unconsciously sparked what I guess we could call spiritual awakenings for so many people in this manner, in a way that to you may have looked so simple. I'm getting the initials L and J, also O, R, and D. Those could be in someone's name. Okay, so I am going to be shuffling again, but I really strongly feel again as though everything that you've been putting out into the world is actually coming back to you at this time. Now, I am going to set the intention to actually channel some messages for how this is all coming back to you. I'm hearing something about being a good tenant with energy. And it's really reminding me of a parable in the Bible where people were given talents, which at the time was actually a sum of money that was referred to as a talent. But I'm actually getting for you, this may be what we in modern times consider to be a talent. So you may have actually been given certain gifts, spiritual gifts, certain talents, abilities that you've had the courage to be actively utilizing, to be building and strengthening like a muscle. Even if in many cases you've been doing this entirely alone with yourself, I feel your talents haven't gone to waste. And as a result of that, they're being multiplied. So it's almost like the more you exercise this muscle of your gifts or your talents, the more those abilities become stronger within you, the more clarity you receive about how to share them with the world. I just saw the number 1133 for someone, so I am actually going to be looking up that number. Wow. Okay, so right away, a message I'm getting from this number is it encourages spiritual exploration, self-confidence, and embracing your unique qualities. Which, of course, qualities here in this kind of statement we could think of as these gifts, talents, or abilities. I'm also going to be looking up the parable of the talents to get a more clear sort of channeling from this. But it's a biblical story where a master entrusted his property, which again, in some versions of the Bible is called talents, which is why I was connecting that word, to 3 servants. Based on their abilities, he returns back and asks them to account for their talents. He praises the first 2 servants for being faithful and gives them more responsibility. So it's almost as though you are being granted with more here because of how you've been utilizing what you have. So I feel that some kind of blessing or some multiplication of something positive in your life is going to be taking place, not by coincidence, but because of how you've been actively utilizing whatever you've been given. So for some of you, again, I'm getting this might be a literal gift or ability that you have, that you've been building, that you've been strengthening, that you've been generating a really positive, creative energy with in the world. For others of you, maybe it's your finances. So you may be someone who, even when you've had very little in your life, you've always been incredibly generous with the people around you. And in that sense, you've always had an abundance mentality because you've always believed that what was really important was showing love to other people, caring and supporting the people around you. And you always believed that in doing that, you would be supported. And that belief has been or will be rewarded by the universe by multiplying your finances or the material abundance, in this case, in your life. For others of you, this might be love related. And I don't necessarily mean romantic, but I feel that you've been entrusted with a heart to love and care for other people and to love yourself. And as you've been actively using that gift to deepen your bond of self-love with yourself, but also to show kindness and empathy and love towards others, even if at times you've felt very lonely and felt as though you've only had a very small inner circle in your life, I feel that your love is being rewarded with the manifestation of a physical community or more people in your life who are going to be giving that love, care, and support back to you. Now, I know we've channeled into so many different potential ways that this message might connect with you. So take it however it does feel as though it's resonating for you personally. But the main message here, of course, is that you've been putting something out into the universe that has been heard, has been felt, has been responded to, and is going to be coming back to you. For some of you, you might already be experiencing this multiplication of whatever you've put out into the universe. For others of you, you've seen the signs of it coming in. You can trust those signs, and more is going to be manifesting in your life. And for some reason, I'm hearing someone say, like, where did this come from? Or am I really worthy of receiving this? Or something along those lines. Like, I feel your conscious mind, when you're blessed in this way, might step in and say, do I really deserve this? Why is all of this happening for me? But this isn't luck, and this isn't coincidental. You've been actively investing energetically, meaning you've been putting an energy out there that is now coming back to you multiplied, because that's the way that the universe works. And I feel that in saying, do I really deserve all of this? It's almost like your conscious mind forgetting your heart, forgetting your consistency in sharing your heart and sharing your talents and sharing your gifts, your energy, your time with other people or with the world, putting all of that out there. And so I feel that you're really being asked to lock in, to claim what is coming to you, what is on the way to you. Of course, I don't get the sense that there's any pride or arrogance in this. It's like claimed because you always knew that this was going to be manifesting. You always knew that this was coming. And that's how you had the faith, trust, and confidence to keep sharing yourself with the world, even when times got really hard for you. And I do feel that you have been through some very dark periods of time in your life where many people around you may have thought that you were crazy for continuing to be the light that you are, continuing to be so open-hearted in the world, continuing to pursue some kind of dream or share a talent or a gift. But you were never crazy. You were called. You were called to a higher purpose, a vision that other people weren't able to see, not necessarily because of a fault of their own, but because, as that famous quote goes, the vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. I'm just seeing a treasure chest. So there's this sense of you manifesting this serendipitous seeming, although again, it's not really coincidental. It's really as a result of a natural law of energy, the way that the law of attraction works in the universe. What you put out there eventually comes back to you. That is the justice that is occurring in your life. But I do feel that when it manifests in, it will almost feel as though you've stumbled on a treasure chest, something unexpected and extremely abundant, extremely valuable, extremely rare. And that's how other people are going to perceive it as well. So, wow, powerful messages coming through for someone listening. So let's see what else I can channel here for you. And the next card here is death. So this is about the end of a cycle. This is about a metamorphosis taking place, moving from one world into another, from one space into another. I heard something about ghosting people, just dropping certain connections. So maybe there are certain people, friends, connections in your life that it's almost like you've disappeared from their world, from their perspective, but it's because you energetically couldn't carry these connections into this next phase that you're transitioning into this next world, so to speak, that you're stepping into. I'm hearing the place between endings and beginnings is extremely powerful. This really reminds me of, in a different reading, when we were talking about the void and how the void you're in is actually a truly powerful portal of creation. Now, this is very interesting. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position. And I don't really feel as though this is your energy. I feel like this is someone watching you receive these blessings, watching you stumble on that treasure chest, as we've been channeling here, and thinking of you as being lucky, but really not giving credit to your heart, to your energy, to everything that you've been actively cultivating, creating, putting out into the universe. Let's see if we can channel any more from this person. I do feel like this is someone who's very focused on material things to the detriment of all other areas of their life. And the irony is, this is someone who seems to envy you or will envy you for the success you're receiving, the material abundance you're receiving, but they have the equation backwards, because you are someone, as I said earlier, who even when you've had absolutely nothing in your life, you've always known where true value lies. You've always known that true value is in the heart and in supporting and caring for and loving others. And so it's almost like you've never really needed to put an emphasis on those material things, but now, because you always knew where the value truly was, you actually are coming into this space of manifesting a huge amount of what other people will consider to be status or to be material things or abundance, or whatever it is that you personally define that as, or whatever you desire there. But the thing is, you have the equation the right way, because you understand that the true value is in the energy and the kindness and the love and the generosity. But then all of those other manifestations come into your life. They are multiplied to you because you are being, as the Bible parable was discussing, you're being this good steward over whatever you've been given. But I feel that this is a person who, it's almost like they're not being a good steward over what they have. They're looking on you with this sense of envy, thinking that you're lucky for receiving these blessings or these connections or community or support or happiness or opportunity or whatever it is in your life. And I almost feel as though this is someone who may be masquerading as a friend or a supporter, but it's almost like every time they send you a message or call you or say something to you that's meant to be supportive, you immediately feel this very off energy about it. That's your intuition picking up on their envy and on this kind of negative energy to whatever that person is sending you. Even if their words sound supportive, you can sense something beneath the surface. And again, this is someone who has the equation the wrong way, because they value material things over connection and over kindness and empathy and open-heartedness. Or they think that those two things are not mutually beneficial, that they are mutually exclusive, that if someone is thriving and happy and connected and successful, that inherently they can't also be someone who is as kind and open-hearted and generous as you are. So I feel like you are almost like an enigma to this person. They're very intrigued by you, but I feel like it's eliciting this reaction of envy out of them, at least at this time, because of these very limited and kind of backwards belief systems within themselves. And so for some of you, this could be one literal physical person. For others of you, this could be more representative of maybe a group or kind of a specific kind of person who is feeling triggered by what's going on in your life at this time. So take that in either way that it's connecting for you. Now, of course, for some of you, this may not be resonating at all. I got the name Mark for someone listening. Okay, so I pulled another card here, and This card is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position. Okay, so I just saw this split off of like two different pathways, but I'm hearing and I'm seeing a white stone or a white crystal in my mind. So I'm seeing that this is two different ways of approaching manifesting in your life or creating forward in your life. And my guides are saying this is the way that has not been working. So this Seven of Pentacles reversed is about trying to push things into place in a certain direction, exhausting yourself physically, wearing yourself out, trying to demand more of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, but ultimately getting extremely burnt out and feeling almost as though you're sort of running in circles here. So this is more of what we would think of as the 3D way of manifesting. And I feel that for many of us, this is a path that we've already really left behind, but it could still come up mentally from time to time because it still energetically lingers in the collective. And because you're so empathic, you can actually pick up on the lingering vibrations emanating from this old way of doing things, as we're calling it here. Now, I do want to know what this new way of doing things is. Okay, so let's pull a card here. Wow, okay, so we have the Ten of Swords, and the affirmation on this card says, when I accept an ending, I also release myself from its power. So I feel that this new way, so to speak, this new pathway is requiring some kind of ending to be accepted. So this could be accepting that the old way of doing things is no longer working. This with the Six of Cups, where it says, my past experiences build a strong foundation for my future. This could be a time of healing from the past, allowing it to be this stepping stone into the future, but no longer trying to revisit it or go back into it, play out those old patterns, or try to go in those familiar directions. It's almost like I'm seeing a barricade on a trail. It's like that barricade has been put up energetically and spiritually speaking. We are no longer able to follow that old trail or that old pathway. But I feel here that, again, we're being guided to accept the ending of the old ways of being or doing things. Now, for some of you, this might be actually accepting that something has been over for a long time is what I'm hearing. This could be some past phase of your life. This could be a relationship. This may be an environment. I just feel like something has really played itself out. And whenever you try to go back into it or to lean back into it, because you've already outgrown it, it's almost like that reality spits you out of it. That's the best way I can describe it. It doesn't really allow you to mesh with it again or to align with it again comfortably, because you're meant to be embracing the fact that you've already expanded and grown beyond it. You're meant to be using it as the stepping stone that it is and moving into that next phase of your life. And with the Ace of Wands reversed, I'm getting that whenever we do try to go down these pathways that are no longer meant for us, the strongest way it will be indicated to us is through a feeling of monotony or a lack of energy. This could be suddenly just feeling very heavy in our body, feeling very tired, feeling very unmotivated, feeling like things are monotonous. Now, of course, because you're so empathic, it's completely normal to have natural waves and cycles in your energy, but I'm talking about noticing a pattern that whenever we go to a certain environment, whenever we do a certain activity, whenever we connect with a certain person, we consistently find that that person, thing, or situation lowers our energy, causes us to feel creatively blocked, causes us to feel very monotonous, very lethargic. If we notice that connection very consistently between those feelings of low energy and that particular thing, person, dynamic, location, whatever it is, that's a very strong indication that whatever we're trying to connect with there is actually something that we've already outgrown. And it's like that reality that's pushing us out of it. It's pushing us out of it, trying to tell us, go where the passion is, go where the energy is, go where the exhilaration is and the life is, and you'll always be moving in a direction that is more closely in alignment with your personal highest vibrational timeline. Because when we use that term, highest vibrational timeline, we're talking about our highest energy timeline. We could interchange those words, vibration and energy. And our highest energy timeline is literally the timeline that also gives us the most life force and passion and energy and inspiration and excitement. It reminds me of a Bashar teaching around following your highest passion or your highest excitement. And of course, it connects with that old cliche around simply following your bliss. And there actually is so much truth to that, because our internal guidance is constantly leading us towards where the energy is. And that again is guiding us into this alignment with our literal highest energy or highest vibrational timeline. So, wow, powerful messages coming through this reading. I am so thrilled to have been able to be part of sharing all of this and creating all of this along with all of you, of course, here listening as well. And I am going to be closing the reading with one final Rumi quote. Of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments section if you do have any thoughts about the reading, if you'd like to share anything about how you've been currently feeling, or anything else that you'd like to contribute to our virtual community here. Of course, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. Now, if you do want to go even deeper into this reading, if this has been connecting for you and you want to continue on with me, I will actually be continuing this channeling in our Patreon Soul Tribe. So if you do want more details, messages, and pieces of information about this reading, or kind of continuing to follow this trail of energy, the link to listen to that extended reading on Patreon is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and channel a Rumi quote here. Wow, this is an interesting one. These pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them. And I actually feel as though this is speaking about those low energy feelings that we get around those places, spaces, and things that we've actually already outgrown. Those feelings of monotony or low energy or lack of inspiration. That's the emotional pain that I feel Rumi is referring to here. And the way we listen to that is by giving ourselves permission to follow our bliss, to pursue our highest passion, to connect with the things and people and activities that truly give us energy and light us up. Because when we're lit up in that way, we are, although many people thinking from a 3D perspective might label us as selfish in a negative connotation, since in those moments, we are actually emanating an energy that is so positive and so powerfully influential and so high vibrational that even without speaking a word, we are naturally uplifting the energy of everyone and everything who has the privilege to come into contact with us. So I really hope this reading has been helpful for someone. Again, if you want to continue on with me, the link to do so is under the video. Otherwise, I am wishing you a beautiful, wonderful remainder of your week, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's reading.